Applying Kurt Lewin's topology and the force field analysis to the understanding of decision making. First, we're going to begin with Kurt Lewin's biography. Kurt Lewin was known as the father of social psychology. He was born in a small city in Germany, which is now known as Posen. He had served in World War I for 4 years. However, he had gotten wounded and kept in the military hospital for several months before returning home. He was appointed as a researcher for Berlin University, where he eventually obtained his PhD. Dressage psychology had 3 principal founders who were Mark Wertheimer, Wolfgang Kohler, and Kurt Kafka. The 4th psychologist was Kurt Lewin. Lewin gave the potential growth and maturation of dressage psychology. In his studies, he reveals experiments in personalities, motivation, social perception, and group dynamics. Lewin had to work his way up into developing his ideas for social psychology. In 1933, Hitler gained power in Germany, and Lewin began to negotiate with Hebrew University regarding the new chair of psychology. While negotiations took place, Lewin was employed at Cornell University. During this time, he published Principles of Topological Psychology. Lewin and his family fled to the United States, where he became a prominent figure in psychology. Then he received news that his negotiations failed at Hebrew University. He took a position at University of Iowa, where he developed experiments in social psychology. Then he took an offer at MIT to expand on theoretical and applied research in social psychology in areas such as decision making. Lewin was motivated to combine his interest in psychology with his passion for science, math, and geometry. He studied the properties of geometric figures and spaces in terms of their connectiveness, continuity, and orientation. Lewin's view on topology is that it helps describe an individual's actions, intentions, rising complex and puzzling dilemmas. He called this psychodynamics. His research expanded on the idea over formal logic, precision, and quantitative facts. Some resources he used during this practice was with colorful examples and illustrations. He believed every individual has their own field of perception and field forces. Lewin combined the main principles of dressage psychology and topology. Field theory is described as the acting and thinking of individuals a part of a dynamic field of interdependent forces. This individual is also a part of a hodological space. The equation B equals F PE has particular abbreviations to be able to understand behavior through mathematics. B stands for understanding or predicament of a behavior. F stands for behavior as a function of an individual's personality, characteristic, and specific environment or situational condition. P stands for a psychological state of a person, and E stands for a psychological environment. The force field analysis shows how individuals' particular goal and previous experiences will fit into the field of characteristics. Lewin described his force field analysis through particular components such as life space, field, existence, locomotion, force, valence, go, and interdependence. Life space is defined as the total of facts that determine the behavior of the person or group. All people have their own psychological space, which is called their life space. Life space is the interaction between the person and environment that an individual finds in himself. For example, if a child believed that his or her sibling was loved more than their parents, even if it were not true, it would still live within that child's life space. The child will soon develop behaviors and attitudes to express their emotions from this assumption. Charave describes conflicts as the overlapping of at least 2 forces. Opposite forces causes frustration. Approach. When a person has to choose between 2 desirable alternatives, for example, when an individual has to choose to either watch a movie with their family or go out with their friends, this leads to an unstable equilibrium, causing one to compare the more attractive alternative. Avoidance. One has to choose between 2 non-desirable alternatives. For example, an individual has to choose between tooth decay or going to the dentist. This leads to an equilibrium. Approach avoidance. A person is attracted to but repels against the same goal. For example, if someone is ready to buy a new car but is not ready for the payments, this leads to a stable equilibrium. Valence is the property of an object in a region in the space according to which the object is sought or avoided. Valence affects decision making by having either a positive or negative approach or avoidance. When a goal is achieved, tension will be at 0. Tension is known for an individual's need. Positive valences are shown through emotions of positivity, events, objects, or situations. Negative valences are shown through negative emotions such as anger and fear.